world got masculine and feminine energy fighting each other. All right. What's happening, people? Let's tap in and let's talk for a second. Some of you all are twisted like an any-ass pretzel, like that brother. What's his name? Gilly the Kid be saying, man. So let's talk for a minute, man, because some of y'all really got inferior issues, you know. And when you start presenting yourself as superior to other people, then it lets you know that the recessive within you is trying to validate itself. You know what I'm talking about? And so you got to figure out this, man. When a man says he's superior to a woman, he's doing that from ego, right? When a woman says she's superior to a man, she's doing that from ego. That's called toxic femininity and toxic masculinity. The equality within the situation is some of the people will say, well, a woman can give birth. Well, that makes she superior. Well, a woman cannot give birth without a man. So therefore, it illegitimizes that argument because both are interdependent on each other. And if both are interdependent on each other, then they both have to be equal parts that create a strong, powerful force, which is creation or which is God. You know what I'm talking about? So a woman cannot give birth without a man, and a man cannot have any, there's no procreation without a woman. A man's resource of giving birth, if you look around within this world, a man, this is a man's world because we talking about man as far as mind. So a man consciously creates the world that is around him. That is where a man gives birth, within his mind. A woman gives birth within her body. She produces the one who gives birth, and that creates the world, which makes these two parts equally onto each other. A woman was equally created as a God alongside the man, right? So this is not distorting or saying one without the other or one are better than the other. A man has masculine energy. He has testosterone with his biological force, which makes him physically more capable than a woman. But a woman has the feminine energy from the estrogen. See, a man has his conscious power, but a woman has more subconscious power. Why? It's because she has more interpretation, because in the subconscious mind is where you deal with emotions, right? So she has more of an emotional power than a man has. A man can be ruled by his emotions, which a lot of times the reason that woman can rule a man because she is able to impregnate his emotions by understanding and manipulate him through emotions. You know what I'm talking about? See, a woman has a powerful intuitive power with her feminine energy, but not a lot of women are in tune with their feminine energy and they don't know how to use it. Not a lot of men are in tune with their masculine energy and their feminine energy while they don't know how to use it. During the birth of the baby, the people always mythicize the idea that a baby starts off as a female, and that's not the actual reality of what's happening in that situation. You know what I'm talking about? Now, the gender of a baby cannot be told, right, until about 3 months, to where you have that Y that starts off, and then the masculine or the testosterone that is pumped within that baby produces the X and Y, and then you are able to see that, okay, this is a male baby, and then the brain of the baby starts the self-identification of gendering itself into male or female brains. You know what I'm talking about? But equally are powerful. The woman can speak with a soft voice and make the world tremble. A man speaks with the fist of his might and make the man tremble. Make the world tremble. Both were powerful. A woman can speak in the ear of a man and control him and control all his might. You know what I'm talking about? Women have always been, in the African culture, it's more about the God triarch. It's about man and woman standing side by side and ruling together. And white patriarch is one being superior over the other. So when man says he's superior than a woman, you actually get that from a white man's mind. That is not an African psychology. That is not an African ideology. That is not an African inheritance of thought at all. You are thinking and speaking and doing and acting like a nigga or acting like a white man himself. You know what I'm talking about? And that's why you lack so much power, because your ego is here saying, she thinks she better than me, but I'm a man, I'm a strong. Nobody give a fuck about none of that, man. You gotta check yourself, because you ain't gonna never get to these God powers and never be able to get to full production of yourself and have balance. And then balance, you build off balance. What you do, you build on abundance once you have balance. But you got to first balance yourself. And that's why a lot of men don't know how to control themselves, and they get emotionally compromised because they didn't respect the deity of the feminine energy that exists within themselves, because they didn't study the external source of that existence, which is the woman. The same way, if a person, you want to study that nigga mindset and the capitalist mindset that exists within America, who you study? You study the white man, because he's the external existence of that mindset in reality, right? So you study him. So if you want to study the feminine aspect of yourself, then you study that external existence of that feminine energy, which will be the woman. And then it gives you mastery and understanding over self. So therefore, you don't lose control. You don't become emotionally compromised. Did I go in for a second? You know what I mean? But it's just a lot of y'all don't understand why y'all ain't got no power. Guys be in there working out, you know what I mean, getting all buff and thinking that they strong. Your strength comes from your mind. You can be the buffest sucker in the world. You can be the buffest person sitting there crying because you don't know how to control your emotions. Feeling like you've been manipulated by a woman who has more control over her emotions than you. And then now she's manipulating you, and because you feel like you're tough and you have physical might, then you use your body, right, to try to overpower the feminine energy. But that is an incorrect empowerment of self. And that's why a man has X and Y, which means he has to have mastery over the masculine and the feminine within himself in order to be within this divinity. And that's why a man has to be with a woman in order him to bring out the full manifestation of his godliness. And that's why I'm still tapping in. At certain levels I ain't reached yet, but I'll study those who have gotten to those levels. So we get to tap in. So nah, man, I ain't about to be dealing with y'all suckers in the comment, man. I ain't got time for that. And I call y'all suckers, and I don't mean y'all real suckers, man, because that ain't the reality, because everybody's out here learning. There was a time, you know what I mean, when I thought that same way. And then once you go into deeper interpretation of study of self, then you understand what they really mean. So I'm not really calling y'all suckers, because I fucks with y'all heavy, man. I thank y'all for rocking with me, and I apologize, but I'm not sorry. You know, I'm talking about those are two different things. Now, let's just get to this point where, imagine if you live life like you've seen the equality in man and woman. Like, there's equality in hot and cold. There's equality in the sun and the moon, right? Equal forces of opposite billing, right? Equal forces, opposite, which means that they're different, but they're equal, right? That's the law of polarity. One cannot exist without the other. Positive and negative are equal forces, but are different in polarity. You know what I'm talking about? So it's like man and woman are equal forces, but different in polarity. For every power you have, she has an equally but different and opposite power as well. So you have to know. Yeah, you can raise your voice, but she can soften her voice and change the world. That's different. You know what I mean? You can control and use your physical might, but she can use her nurturing and caressing in ways to be able to change the world. Those are different. You know what I'm talking about? You can use your brute or you can use your intellect. Both can be equally as powerful in different times. Opposite though. So it's like, we just got to get to that point in our evolution where we see that, because one of the biggest problems we have right now that we deal with is this incorrection of masculine and feminine description and understanding and interpretation that would allow you to go to that next level. You know what I'm talking about? If a man stopped producing sperm, and then what good is a woman's womb? Whew. Think about that. What good is a woman's womb without sperm? What good is a man's mind without ideas or control over that mind? You know what I'm talking about? And vice versa. That's why they're interdependent. So you can go rock your shirts that say woman is the future. You can rock your shirts that say man is superior. That just means that's called toxicity. So when you see that, that's called toxic feminism and toxic femininity, right? And then the opposite is toxic masculinity. So when one tries to push themselves above or over the next one, that is a toxicity. That is a poison. That is an existence. That is an unnatural perversion of nature. And that is not built out of African ideology. That is built off white matriarchal and white patriarchal intellect. See, the white woman is great because she gets to enjoy none of the blame for all of the guilt associated with her people. She gets to enjoy alliances with our women, right? As if white matriarchal intellect is not a real thing. White matriarchal intellect is just more covert. She's the CIA of the white man. She's the CIA of white supremacy. She sneaks in. She's the undercover agent. She acts as if she's your friend. The white man's greatest trick was his woman. Always.
She's always been that way. White woman always
at the root of all our destructions and seeing so many black men fall was this white woman.
Always the white woman.
But see, they didn't blame the white woman.
Never blame the white woman.
The white woman was still able to take on the victimhood role. The black man became the guilty, even though he was the innocent, and then the white man became the devil, even though they both played equal parts in it.
Somehow the white woman just don't exist in it.
Right. If I go send a black woman in there to go set up a white man, right, and he gets killed, then I go just look at, you know, talking about me as a perpetrator. They gonna say we were. So that's the importance of it. You got to know that, and it's not until we separate. That's why separation is so key. Separation. And I know I might lose a lot of followers fucking around, man, when I get to talking about this. But I wasn't rocking with y'all in the first place. You know what I mean? Not those who I lose. If I lose you, I never had you. You know what I'm talking about? So that's what I always say. And people find this offensive. And look, man, anybody can do whatever they want to. You can stick your wee-wee, you know what I'm talking about, in your vagina wherever you want to. That's up to you. But when I speak upon facts, there's facts and facts on facts. Now, when I say that, you know what, I ain't even gonna go there. I ain't even gonna go there today. We gonna stay on this topic of the woman is equal to the man without there's no argument there for me. I don't want to debate with nobody. You know what I mean? I don't have debates with people because there's nothing to debate about. When I come to a culmination of thought, it's not that it's rocked and it can't be moved, but only truth can move it. Once I get with a thought, only truth can move that thought, but not opinion. You know what I'm talking about? Only truth and facts can move that thought, because then I can be like, you know what? I can add that into the power. My brother Princeton said, go there. Now, he said, go there. So listen, man. Black man, when you get with a black woman, right, she pushes you. She's nudging that God out of you. She sees that as potential, and she's going to make it kinetic. You know what I'm talking about? She's going to make it kinetic. See, a lot of black men can't get with black women because they make you stronger, right? They pull out that force in you. You know what I mean? She said, I see the God in you. We only go do these things. Let's go pull out that God in you when you get with a goddess. That's what a black man, that's what a black woman does. And a lot of black men are so feminized and emasculated today that they're afraid of her power that she can pull out of them, right? So this is what they do. So a lot of black men, they get into their greatness, right? And they want to retire. They say, I'm tired of this. I need somebody that feeds my ego instead of builds my eco. You know what I'm talking about? That ecosystem of God that exists within, that it pulls out your nature. So they go get with a white woman. White women is where black men go to retire. And I talked about this before. White women is where black men go to retire. Because at that point in time, they at that point in their career life to where they just want their ego to be fed. And that's what white women do for you. She feeds your ego. She ain't making you greater. Obama, 110 billion% could have not became Obama if he had a white woman. If he would have got that white woman that was in that documentary, in that show, ain't nobody would have rocked with Obama. Hell no. Think about this. He couldn't have become president if he didn't have a black woman. If Farrakhan had him a white woman, nobody rocking with Farrakhan. Malcolm X had him a white woman, nobody rocking with Malcolm X. Marcus Garvey would have got him a white woman, nobody would have been rocking with the man who had their plan to resurrect black people, unless he had him a black woman. Now these are historical, empirical facts that one cannot argue with. And Martin Luther King, the Christian, powerful savior of the world that y'all love, the integration guy, if he had a white woman, he would definitely not would have became the king. What are we talking about? Even Jesse Jackson, I don't know, he probably be knocking down a lot of white women. But I'm saying, even Jesse Jackson and Al Sharpton, they come out with white women. Black people ain't done with them yet, but they ain't super be done with them then. He can go with the CIA and all that other extra stuff. But the white woman, oh no. You've been absolved of all your statuses. So you have to understand, for a man, when he picks the right woman, he picks the right destiny. And that's why it's no small feat or no small measurement for a man to pick the right woman, because you have to understand, whichever woman you choose, you're picking the right destiny. You're picking your destiny. And that's going to affect the trajectory of where you're able to go, and affect the potential of what you're able to build, and the substance of what you're able to pull out. Because as he leads her, she helps him lead. So she's creating the leader to lead her. It's like she's creating the vehicle to drive in. She's creating a vehicle to drive in. Because that's going to determine, right? When you get into the right vehicles, some vehicles, when you create them, they got higher mileage. Some like solar, some electric, right? Some come with the GPS. Some come with all of these different things, right? Yes, the driver in the vehicle is what gets her to the destination, but she creates the driver, but somehow the vehicle think is more important than the person who created it. It's interdependent. They work with each other, and that's how we go further. So yes, you got the drive, but she helps you create the vehicle to get there. Huh? Who? Have to go around. You know what I'm talking about? So those were the thoughts that I wanted to convey to you all today, man. Just because masculine and feminine energy, man, is the most important topic today. I'm in Atlanta, where the masculine and feminine energy is completely off balance. The young boys are emasculated with the feminine energy, but they don't have the masculine energy, and this is why they're off balance. So they have ideas, but they don't produce them, right? They don't produce them because that masculine drive is not there. That ambitious drive is not there to go get something. That drive of power only exists in a testosterone environment. That's why when a woman is masculated, right, and she has that testosterone, then she wants some power like a man. Like this want of power. You gotta think about this. That's a very masculine drive. Yeah, a woman is a nurturer. She has the ability to take something and make the best out of it. She has the ability to take something and make the best out of it. Think about that. A sperm, right? A sperm swims. A sperm has motility. It means that it can use, its own body, his metabolical functions to move, right? The egg, for the most part, does not move at all. Most eggs don't move at all. They just stay there. It has no motility. You know what I'm talking about? It has mobility. Mobility speaks to the ability of something to be moved, right? But motility speaks to metabolic energy. The sperm has a thought of its own GPS, and it swims, and it has motility. It can move on its own, right? So when the sperm swims to the egg, the subconscious, or that egg, the egg don't move. The sperm goes to the egg, and then when that sperm meets the egg, it sparks. And then in that spark and in that production, right, then life is beginning to create. But it still has to go through that process, right? So the ambitious mind is always moving. You have certain thoughts, right? So fecundity refers to, like, the ability for those sperms to be able to move. It refers to the ability of something to be able to reproduce itself. But it also, in the mind, fecundity refers to the ideas, the mind having a multitude of ideas. So a man is supposed to have a lot of ideas, because his mind is always supposed to be in reproduction mode. Think about this. But when a man doesn't have that, when a man's body does not receive enough testosterone and his biological function is off, he has an inability or a lessened ability to reproduce, which means the motility of his sperm lessens. So that means that less sperm are getting to the egg. So the same thing with his mind. So you have less ideas getting to the subconscious mind to produce an action. Because you got to remember, it's not what you know here in the conscious mind. It's the subconscious mind that produces the action. So even when your biology is off and your testosterone is off and you are emasculated, you are feminized, you're not going to produce that many ideas, and they're not definitely going to reach the egg, which is the subconscious mind, to start giving birth to new realities. So this is the problem that we have, and that's why you see a lot of men walking around with a lack of imagination, a lack of wisdom, because the visionaries plan with imagination. Think about that, planning with imagination. Like when you meet your woman, y'all talking about these visions y'all have. She said, baby, we could do it like this. You start telling her the big picture. She said, wait a minute, let me give you the details on how this needs to be done. She said, no, we need this, that, and the third. She starts to nurture your ideas so y'all can give birth to them. Whew. See, when you by yourself, you have to be that masculine and feminine. You got to nurture your own ideas. It's much harder for you. But when you get with the woman, right, she get, baby, look, this is what I want to do. She done did the paperwork, came back to you, y'all producing all kind of ideas. Or then, see, life is just a replication of itself happening over and over. See, when you have children, right, same thing when you have a baby, you have the ideas, you come together with the woman, sperm meets the egg. Boom, 9-month process, y'all have children. Who is the best nurturer for that children? The woman. She's nurturing those children. You're producing more ideas. You over here giving birth. She's nurturing what y'all gave birth to, and then y'all continue to reproduce. See, we think that reproduction and producing is only with the stomach. No, there's reproduction of the mind. I went to Derek Grace's birthday party yesterday, and they was giving out so much accolades for his ability to produce these ideas of the fecundity of his mind, being able to reproduce itself consistently. But a man's mind has to be nurtured, right? The same way when a woman is pregnant, she has to be in a nurturing environment. Your ideas, your mind, man, has to be in a nurturing environment. And when you with the right woman, she helps nurture that environment. Man, bro.
Do it fast. Stop thinking about it. Fast. Hold on, don't hit that cord. Go.
All right, go. We hitting some illegal stuff, man. Y'all chill out. So look, man, everything has a divine order, and that's the purpose of it. And the divine order put things in balance. You have the 1 and you have the 9. In feminine, you have what? Fi, the word fi, man, and 9. You see the power of that? You never broke down that word, right? The fi, right? The fi. And then you have men and you have 9. Femin 9, right? That's that 9 mind, right? And then you got the masculine or masculine. You know what I'm talking about? But these things have to be in order, because that woman represents that 9 mind and that subconscious order. You know what I mean? But that 1 has to reach the 9 in order to start the process of giving birth. The conscious has to reach the subconscious for that process of giving birth. That man has to reach that woman in order for that process of giving birth. So I just gave y'all the game. That's how you produce any idea unto reality. You know what I'm talking about? To be able to focus with passion and energy. You know what I mean? That's how you get to manifestation. Bro, you almost there, bro. Relax. You frustrated and we in the parking lot. Bro, we gonna find a parking spot. We always do. Life is good like that. We just find spots. The master consciousness, man, don't even worry about that. He gets a problem and a solution all at the same time. Because every problem comes with a solution. We chill. We relax. We live it. I am on TV speaking. Somebody said, oh, you ain't on TV speaking. I'm on TV speaking right now. I need you to go right now. I need you to go run outside, and I need you to go yell to your neighbors, 19 keys is on. Everybody like, 19 keys? And if all 70 of you people did that, y'all gonna reach at least 100 people. Then it's gonna grow to 700, and then the other 700 do that. Next thing you know, we got about 700,000 people online. You see how geometrical progression works? But listen, man, we just had a great talk, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in, man. But yeah, man, with passion and energy, just like sex, that's how you start reproduction. But it has to be focused, passion, and energy right there. You know what I'm talking about? And that's why I tell people, you know, the intellectual orgasm is fighting and going along that journey with passionate energy and producing your ideas unto reality. You know what I mean? Not just the physical passion, but the mental passion, the mental energy, the mental cosmic forces meeting each other, the tantric weaving of energies. How does it feel not to have a 95? It feels like, you ever seen a dog with a leash on it? Nah, I ain't even gonna use that analogy. You know what? I don't like that analogy because everybody ain't like that. Because here's the thing, man. Being an entrepreneur is very hard. You have to be consistent and you can't let your foot up off the gas. You know what I'm talking about? The entrepreneur lifestyle is one who goes upon that journey and who works for self, but is in a consistent remedy of constantly, you know, producing ideas so that you can consistently stay. Like I said, you know, working for others is a blessing. Here's the thing. The problem is that we work for the white man. It's not that we have jobs. The problem is the jobs that we're under are not for self. So it's like once you have a job and you working for your brother, you working for your sister, or you working for somebody that's doing something great, that job is the same thing as being a boss because it's for a purpose. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that we have to understand, because sometimes we talk bad about jobs, but the reality of it is it depends on who you working for. Because if you got to think about the people that was building the pyramids, you know what I mean? So-calledly they had a boss, but what they was working for was the legacy of the people. You know what I'm talking about? They put that collective energy together and they was able to produce something great. So when we work for each other, it's the same thing as being a boss and having your own job. And that's what we must realize ultimately. So let's just make sure we put this stuff in the correct category. So yeah, man, working for yourself feels like working for your people when you're doing something for your people. Man, so I appreciate y'all for tapping in though, but I'm gonna holler at y'all later, man. Y'all be blessed. Go have them ideas and give birth to them, man. Appreciate you.